Are you interested in real estate investing but not quite sure where to get started? Do you want to get the know hows on creating ongoing passive income using the buy and hold strategy? Hi, I'm Janice Bowles, licensed realtor and co founder of B Premier Ventures, a real estate development and consulting firm where we buy and beautify distressed real estate, renovate it, and resell for profit. With over 15 years of investing experience, B Premier has extensive knowledge in rural land development, fix and flips, and rental acquisitions. B Premier's current portfolio consists of properties within Florida and Virginia. Our firm's services includes investor project consulting, project management, and group coaching. For more information, visit our website at bpremierventures.com and schedule a complimentary discovery session or subscribe to our email list. It's free. Follow me on Instagram at Janice Bowles for additional real estate investing tips. B Premier Ventures, we buy and beautify.
Episode of Let's Do It Talk Show. It's your girl, Ladrine Howard Peterson, the CEO and founder of Do It, delivering on ideas and thoughts. And you know what I do in a nutshell, right? I help to turn dreamers into doers, and I do it from two aspects. I do it from the aspect of career development, resume writing, interview preparation. You're looking to change jobs, or if you're having issues on your job, I am your girl. And then I also do it from the aspect of business. If you're looking to expand your business, you're looking for marketing strategies, or if you just have some ideas and thoughts and don't know how to quite bring them into fruition, I am your girl. Here on the Let's Do It Talk Show, we were primarily created for entrepreneurs, right? Quickly, we realized that the entrepreneur was an entire person. So we talk about faith, we talk about finances, we talk about the future, and we talk about families and relationships. Today's episode is going to be powerful. Get your pens, pencils, your notepads, your computer, whatever you use to take notes, gather that up. Today, we're going to be talking about 9 things that prevent us from progress. And my special guest today is Monty Evans, young man who has been through a lot of different things in his life. However, when he captures them all together and pulls them together into these points, powerful moments, powerful information, and he and I are just going to engage into discussion. Monty has so many facets to him that we're going to have a series, a couple of shows where we have him and he and I go one on one. But today we're going to be talking about the 9 things that prevent us from progress. So, Monty, welcome to the show. I'm excited to have you on. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, Miss Ladrine.
Awesome.
Glad
Awesome.
I'm glad to be on the show. You know, it's a pleasure. Um, yeah, it's an honor to be on the show. It's amazing. Nice day outside. I'm
Awesome.
feeling great, feeling confident,
Awesome.
and
Awesome.
I'm ready to get this show started.
Let's get the show started. So, before we jump in, we're gonna have another session at a later time when we talk about your background and upcoming. But do you want to say anything? Just tell the people who you are, what you do before we jump into the conversation. If not, we'll jump
Yes,
into. Okay, let's go.
yes. Like she said, my name is Monty Evans, and I'm a singer, writer, poet, inspiration. Um, you know, I'm just a lover. But make a long story short, I just want this day, whoever listening or whoever out there, I want this day to basically bring light to somebody's eyes, to let them know, like, no matter what you're going through, there's a God, there's light in your darkness, and let these words that I have to say be put something on your heart, give you something to think about, to manifest, and that's pretty much what I have to say.
Awesome. So let's jump right into things. So, Nine things that prevent us from progress. First up is entertain things without eyes and ears, and I put that things we entertain without eyes and our ears. So let's go. What do you mean by that, and what was behind that first point?
I mean, what I mean by entertaining things that are eyes and ears, I'm meaning like things we see, things we hear. Prime example, television. You watching TV. If you look at prime example, if you watching like Cardi B or scary movies or you listening to like negative music, you know, you downloading that, what you seeing with your eyes off that television, and you downloading that into your spirit. So now that you picking up and you entertaining and you seeing things around your environment, you're gonna attract that, and that's gonna stop you from progressing. That's one of
Exactly.
that's one of the
Exactly.
main things. That's one of the main things I'll say too.
And I,
And not only that is hearing hearing people and seeing people the way they move, hearing how they move. You hear that person like, "Hey, you're not gonna be nothing, or you're not gonna be this," and you see how they
mm,
treating you. That's also gonna program into your spirit, and that's gonna stop you from progressing because you're dwelling on those words. And I have that later on down the line.
very pivotal statements and very important factors. One, the first thing in terms of the ears and eyes, I'm always protective of my ear gate and my eye gate. My friends and folks who know me know that I don't watch television. I use my television for YouTube, for positive shows or positive messages. I don't use that because the negativity impacts my spirit and impacts my soul. I don't watch reality TV because I know how I am, and not anything against people who watch it, but one of the things, like from reality TV, they pop off. And if you
Yes.
watch that, it'll have you saying nobody gonna disrespect me, and you'll pop off. So you got to be careful around that. And then the last
Yes.
point that I'll make to that, I'm very protective about who I have in my space. Um,
Right.
Although I didn't succumb to peer pressure as a child growing up, I know that pressure is there, and rather it be adult pressure or whatever we want to call it, we know that when we're around people doing certain things, it could cause you to sway, to do that, to talk a certain way, to act a certain way. And your point about negative things being fed into you, I don't even have to circle back on that. You said that like directly to a point. So very good with that. So let's go on to number two. Number two, reduce our spiritual focus. Stop pulling away from church and separating you from God. And I phrase that up as lack of spiritual focus. Go.
Yes.
Talk to
Yes.
me.
Um, this is going back to the first one. Entertaining things with our eyes and ears, reducing our spiritual focus. So that means that you're starting to, like I said, you're starting to dwell on on what you picked up from that TV, or what you picked up from your environment, or whoever was in your circle. Now that you listening to them, now it's taking your focus.
Come
It's
on.
starting to pull you. It's starting to pull you away from your church. It's starting to pull you away from God, your relationship with God, and it's traveling you back, or whatever you came from, that dark place you came from, is making you go back to that dark place that you left from. So it's like, reducing your spiritual focus. That's everything. Let's go back to what I was saying. What I mean by downloading. See, our minds is like the computer, and with our body and spirit is like files. So with our mind and our body all in one, it's like a computer system. When our body and our mind and our soul intertwined into one, we have our subconscious. So our
Yep.
subconscious, so our subconscious is basically like the computer. So whatever that computer downloads, our mind is like
That's
the
it.
internet. Whatever we download from the internet and we put into those files, when we open up those files, our body, our visions, our ears is going to start reflecting off those files that we open up. So now that we seeing the files that's open up, now we got so much things downloaded.
Right.
You got so many things downloaded, and now it's taking you off of your distraction of the main thing that you're supposed to be
It
focusing
is
on.
distracting
It
you from the main thing and taking you off your focus. One of the things that you said when you talked about the circle, right? So for us, I always use this example, right? Talking about pi fractions or whatever it is that you want to do. We are a total. We are a whole. So let's
yes,
just take it as a pi, a circle. We are 100%. Rather we have broken spirit, downtime, or what, we are equal to 100%. So if we take our focus and not let the spiritual foundation be our go-to, all of the other negative things, they're taking a piece of the pie. So if I'm not
right,
100% and I'm 90% focused, I'm 10% not, I'm distracted. If I am 50% focused on spiritual, then I'm 50% not. So the less that you have focus, the more that you give to something else, which is perfectly for the segue for your number 3 item. And your number 3 item, going back to familiar spirits. When you don't fulfill yourself with positive things, it is an easier segue for you to go back to those negative familiar
yes.
spirits.
Yes, and such as this is going back to what I'm saying, such as marijuana,
Right.
pornography, and alcohol. You know, some people they have addicted to marijuana. Some people they say, "Oh, I can't function. I need to smoke marijuana, or I need to do this." They can't do that, and it goes back to what I was saying about the internet, pornography.
Right.
You watch pornography and you download that pornography off your internet. Now you're gonna be your flesh.
Easy access.
It's intertwined to that negative spirit. Now your flesh is craving sex all the time. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. Every female or male figure you see, you want to have sex with because of what you going off of your spirit. And then not only that, it ties into alcohol. Alcohol itself is a huge spirit. That's why when you see liquor stores, it say wine, liquor, and spirits. It's those spirits that's in a drink. When you drinking those spirits, you digesting those spirits, whatever,
Right.
whatever, whatever
Right.
that was in that
Right.
drink. Cause
Right.
cause 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 liquor, people don't understand this. Liquor is a sign of witchcraft. It's the spirits. That's why they say wine. If you see most liquor stores, they say wine, liquor, and spirits. It's witchcraft. So when you drink that poison and that toxicness, you drunk, the side effect being drunk off of it is causing you to not be your normal self. So now you opening up all these doors, you opening up all these files, and then when you get time to focus back to yourself, you're gonna be so drained. You're gonna be this, that, and the third. You're gonna
Right.
want to crave it again, keep craving it again, and it takes you off your distraction. You know,
It distracts you. It takes you off your
it
focus.
takes you right
Right.
off your distraction, and it gets back to my next point.
But before
For
you go to
let
your point before you go to your next point of doubting yourself, one of the things that I wanted to say is when you said that these take you into not being yourself, um definitely true. That definitely go we'll talk about that more. I won't linger into that. But anything that takes you out of your true self of who you are, you need to be careful about it. But here's one thing that I can definitely challenge you on, and we can have another debate about it. While I know that that's how liquor stores label it, liquor, wine, and spirits, we have to be careful in understanding these things because wine is in the Bible. Jesus made wine. You know what I mean? So it is not the
Witchcraft.
thing. It's not the thing. It's not the thing. Jesus didn't make witchcraft. It's not the thing. It is how you utilize the thing and how you perceive it and what you use it for. People can use wine to celebrate, but then there's a certain thing, a separation between celebrate and drunkenness. So I just wanted to point out that point. But yes, please proceed to
And,
point forward. Doubt in yourself.
before I go to point four, the word that I was trying to say you're not yourself is you're possessed with that spirit from that alcohol.
I agree.
And that goes back to
Or what, and or whatever vice you have, because some people don't
yeah.
Smoke, and some people don't drink, some people don't watch porn, but everybody has a vice or something that can be a temptation to them. Okay, go ahead.
Course.
Number four, doubt in yourself and who you became in Christ. Doubt in yourself.
Yes. So now that you have the going back to the familiar spirits, now it's going back to this down in yourself. So now that when you program all these things into your spirit, these negative things, now you're going to start feeling bad. That's another word for your guilty conscience. Now you're losing your lack of faith, your disbelief. You're being disappointed. You always down. Then it comes with depression. It comes with anxiety. Some people say it comes with bipolar, mixed with different personalities and this, that, and the third. Isolating yourself. You know, can't always saying I can't, I can't, I can't, I can't. You giving up. You giving up, and you taking your focus off the main thing, and the main thing is God.
Yeah.
That main light. So you pulling yourself away from that light, and you shutting yourself up into that darkness. You isolating, you're boxing yourself. You leaving yourself out. You and yeah. and it's like, man, I can go on. I can go on and on with point four.
And that one is pretty much self-explanatory, like for real. Like that one, if you and I and other people are true to themselves, times when you're in situations where you begin doubting yourself. And the whole intersection of doubting yourself in Christ, we're children of God. We're His heirs. So we always have to go back to that point. Who did God create you to do? And we'll understand that the negativity, anxiety, doubt, and all of these things, they're not of God. So you don't even have to say any more about those. Just what you said, that is it. And if people dwell and understand that and let that sink in, then they'll be really, really fine with that. Because and just as we're going into the next one, perfect segue, because a lot of times people blame everything on everybody else, which we're going to get to, and never take responsibility for themselves. So your point, you don't need, I know so much you can say, you don't need to say any more about point four, because it's said, and you said what you said. So let's go to point five.
Having too much bad fellowship with family members and friends. This is one of the biggest things that causes us to lose our distractions and stop our process with Christ, because it's like friends or family members who don't have anything going for themselves. You say, hey, you going to church? Well, this is why I left church, because they look at the pastor. Well, ain't all the pastor is doing is taking the church's money and offering, and don't go around them people because da 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 da. And then you hearing it and hearing it and hearing it and hearing it. Then when you go to offering, when it's tithes and offering, they're gonna be like, Cousin Billy was right. Friend Malcolm was right. Yeah. Denise was right. prosper because of, you know, they don't want you to become, they want you to become just like them. They don't want you to be doing better than them because at the end of the day, they gave up. Just like the enemy. When the devil got kicked out of heaven, prime example, the devil got kicked out of heaven. He don't want us to go to heaven. He keep on distracting us with all these materialistic things, all these things in the world, because of he don't want us to go back in heaven. He want us to feel the same. He want us to suffer the same exact thing he
Right.
suffered. So
Yeah.
what? So what? He make you think, oh, you gonna go to heaven? Now you gonna come. You gonna suffer in this
Right.
miserable place just like I am. And let's go back
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
saying that I like. Miserable people love company.
Yeah.
Misery love company
Yeah.
because of
And hold
because of
on. One thing. So, and for this, I just wanted to go because this point right here actually just coincides and adds compliment to number one when you talked about entertaining things with eyes and ears.
the
It's not only
ears.
things, but it's people also in the different things that you're saying with that. You started to jump ahead, and I'm going to let you go first, and then I'll circle because the next point, start looking at the prosperity of the wicked, of those negative things. I'm gonna let you go and talk on that. I don't want to jump ahead of you, but because my
Yeah.
comment to the last one would have been that.
I'm
So go
sorry.
ahead.
I'm
No,
sorry.
you're good. So
But
start looking at the prosperity of the
the
wicked.
wicked.
Yeah,
So
wicked
now,
prosperity enticement is what I called it.
so now you starting to look at that. But before you looking at the prosperity of the wicked, you're gonna get tired of serving the Lord because things didn't go as planned. You're gonna be like, hey, the process, well, God, you promised me this, and God, so when you don't see those blessings or you don't see the things manifesting in your way because you listen to people and you feeling guilty and you entertaining things with your eyes and ears, now you're gonna start looking at the prosperity of the wicked like, you know what? Forget it. I'm gonna drink. It's going back to drinking, smoking, whatever. You're gonna drink your life away,
Yeah.
drink and smoke your life away because of things didn't go as planned. Now, and the prosperity of the wicked, meaning like, you know what? I'm just gonna do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, and make this money this kind of way. Make
Right.
this money this kind of way. Say, prime example of drug dealers and strippers. Prime example.
Yeah.
You know, they don't get this job enough time. Oh, I don't get this job. They ain't paying me enough. So then they hear, hey, girl, you need to come on down to this club at the Sundance because of they paying more to hop on the pole and this, that, and the third. The only thing you got to do is just show some legs for a couple hours and you make $2,000.
Yep.
They
Yep.
listen to that, entertaining that, and then they go, then they look at that prospect.
Yeah.
Just like saying people, just like guys. Prime example myself. Looking at people, you know what? I ain't gonna get a job. My situation, the lack of love I'm getting from my family, just that and the third. So now I'm gonna hustle.
Right, and
I'm gonna hustle.
we're gonna talk about the hustling aspect when we go and we do that certain that session that episode. So for this one, you tied 6 and 7 together. So I just want to
Yeah.
say it. So 6 and 7 is growing weary and specifically get tired of serving the Lord because things didn't go as planned. And then number 7, the wicked prosperity enticement, what you just said. The only one comment that I have for that is all that glitters is not
Ain't gold.
gold. All that glitters is not gold. So the last two points, point number 8 is we start losing faith, start looking at your spiritual consciousness, and then number 9, stop praying and fasting on a frequent basis. So those two kind of like tie together. So talk to those as we close out this conversation.
Well, when you lose your faith, it's going back to what I said, your disbelief. When you giving up of the main thing, you taking your focus off the main thing. That's like your car. You're supposed to be driving straight. Now your car is being run off the road now. Your car is landing up in a ditch, you crash.
Right.
Because of, you know, you gave up and you don't, man, I wrote this. You gave up. Not only that, you stopped praying, you stopped fasting, you stopped your relationship with God. It's not there anymore. Because if you feel like, well, God, you put this, da 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 da, you gave up. You disbelieve. Oh, God ain't answering me. God ain't doing this. This, that, and the third. He ain't da 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 da. So now it's like you gave up. And it takes me back to Leviticus. Prime example takes me back to Leviticus 19 and 31. It says, regard not them that have familiar spirit, neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them. I am Lord your God. Though thou shalt rise up before the hoary head and honor the face of the old man and fear thy God. I am the Lord. That takes me back to that.
Amen.
Focusing on the main thing. That
Amen.
old person that you was thinking
Right.
that before, you ain't that. And coming out from these 9 things, when God delivers you from things, you have to maintain your deliverance. Keep your faith. Walk in your calling, walk in your path, walk in your true identity, knowing where you stand in Christ.
And also, I'm sorry, and also understanding that in the Bible, God already tells us that there will be trials and tribulations. And then he also tells us to count it all joy and so many other things that help us to get through that. So as we close out, in 60 minutes or so, summarize your overall closing remark, and then let everyone know how they can connect with you.
Well, overall, the 9 things that's causing us to not progress. Overall, what this is basically telling you, it's like if God had delivered you something, if God had brought you out these things, don't go back.
Right.
Like my pastor told me, leave Egypt in Egypt. Don't go back. The promised land, where God promised you the land, God promised you to take you, focus on that. Focus on that. Don't go back to those familiar spirits. And that's why we tend to go back to the familiar spirit, because of with the familiarity. We used to what we know. We got to change our mindset, change the way we think, change the way we act, change the way we see and hear things, and look at the truth, look at the light, and knowing who the truth and the light is. That's God. And you can find me on IG, Loyalty to Great. That's loyalty with an I at the end, not Y. You can find me on Facebook, Cornell Evans. You can find me on Twitter, Loyalty to Great. You can find me on Clubhouse. That's Monty Evans. And that's all I have to say. And it was nice talking to you all. You all have a blessed night. And I hope you guys learned something. Because as I'm talking to you guys, I'm still learning things. I'm still learning this myself. So, but it was nice talking to you guys. And you guys have a blessed night and enjoy.
Thank you so much, Monty. All of the points that you identified, all of the things that you said, and just putting a star by number one. Your whole point of people get distracted and pull away because they stop praying and fasting on a frequent basis. And my thing just takes me to scripture: pray without ceasing. So thank you so much, Monty. All right, you guys. So we have come to the conclusion of this episode. Powerful episode, powerful information, and just a rundown of things. So whenever you feel like your growth is stunting, remember these 9 points. And just want to give a shout out to our sponsors. Make sure that you're following them on social media. Fan Financial, Professional Diva Credit, Professional Credit Diva, and also Be Premier. So make sure, if you're not already doing so, that you follow us on all social media platforms. We are Let's Do a Talk Show on Instagram, YouTube. It is our website page as well as our Facebook group. Upcoming shows are just going to be very similar to this, and I kind of like categorize it as beating the odds segment. So we're going to be doing several of these, and of course the ladies will be here on their nights for Money Making Monday segments. But until the next show, the next episode, you all make sure that you live each day, each hour, each minute, each second to the absolute fullest. And I'll see you all on the next show. Peace.